maybe this works.
It
I
says
don't
live,
know.
so that's good.
It said live. We're live. What's going? It's too early for this shit. I've been up
I
forever.
was
It's
gonna
not too early.
say, are you not an early riser?
No,
Oh,
God, no. I mean, I don't know what it looks like in your end of the state right now, but it's just like miserable as piss outside.
it's
I don't want to be up
dreary.
right now.
Oh, I
I even
love it.
I even got my fuck it mug
Oh,
today.
look at
It's
that.
fuck it. I don't know if you can read it. It says fuck it. Fuck it Fridays. That's gonna be a thing, right?
We call it fuck off Fridays, and we
But
refer to it as foffing.
I appreciate that. I like
Right.
that. Uh, I don't know if anyone's jumping in on this. 16 padding joint. Yeah, so we're hanging out with Beth. Uh, Lark Fitness, Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm gonna make all of my words just real disjointed and crazy today. What's going on, Beth? How are you?
What's going on? I shaved my head for childhood cancer on Sunday, and I haven't been faced with the big bald head in the way that I'm currently coming to grips with it. So that's on the top of my mind. Other than
Yeah.
that, it's a dreary Friday.
Did did you have somebody shave it? Did you have like a pro shave it for you, or did you just do it yourself? Because I've done it myself before when I was a far younger, more depressed man, and yeah, just like did it myself with a pair of clippers because it was hot and my apartment didn't have air conditioning. So I thought this is how I'll feel cooler. Shave my head.
I bet you can pull it off. You got the head for it.
23 was a weird year for me.
Yes, I think that's what I'm coming to grips with is that I'm 33 now, and I think the last time I did this I was 23, and things are just a little different now.
Yeah, yeah. World is different place, different place. And we're different people. We're older. How's the
Thank God.
gym?
How's
How's
the gym?
Lark?
The Lark is great. It's pretty cool that we're doing this on a Friday because I'm not in the gym on Fridays anymore.
Huh?
Yeah, and so I kind of reserve it as like admin, just get shit, all the emails that I didn't answer during the week get answered on Fridays,
Sure.
this kind of thing, which is, it's a big fucking deal for me to not go in and know that everything's still standing, folks are getting exactly what they need, and I don't have to be there. That's huge.
That is huge. Because we first met. You were a part of the first I don't know, course coaching thing I was doing that would eventually become what I would call Into the Abyss, right? Which was this weird copywriting thing, right? And it still is this weird copywriting thing. Foundations in developing a creative mindset and a writing practice and how do you get more out of that, especially to apply it to a business that you were starting. And because back then you were in the I think the area is underserved in this, and I want to make this gym that does this thing, but I don't really know how to go about it or how to talk about any of that. And that was like our first conversation. Then our second conversation, which was like 2 weeks later, you're just like, yeah, so I signed a lease on a space. It's like, whoa, so we're moving real fast, which was, I mean, awesome. Obviously, it all worked out. And then, yeah, we did. I remember doing just like a lot of back and forth on because it wasn't even called Lark then. Like we didn't arrive at that till a while later because we just there was just that a lot of we talked about it a ton and then we just didn't talk to each other for like 2 weeks because that stuff needs to stew and eventually we came back. It's just like it's doing this on a Lark and then it rolled out from there.
Boom. And it's so crazy to, excuse me, to reflect back on that because from where I'm sitting now, it feels like I have so much clarity about my idea and my message and the population that I want to serve and am able to serve. And
Sure.
I'm almost positive that without doing all that bullshit on the front end of what am I doing, why am I doing it, I mean, it sounds kind of cheesy, but like that really did lay the foundation for what I'm putting in action now.
Yeah. And it was crazy because like that was mid-pandemic, like in the middle of, we're not sure if anything's ever going to open again. Here you are, like opening a public space, right? Which is like, this will work. This will be great. And it worked out good. I mean, I remember coming down to the opening night party, and I was just like, this place is real. Yeah, that was something, man. That was a good time. Yeah, and I guess I've been doing these things live because everyone's like, you should start a podcast, but I don't feel like doing a podcast because there's a lot of planning. So I said, we'll just jump on live and it'll record and we'll just see what happens. And so a lot of the conversations lately have been built around this idea of like community, right? And what is it? I guess how do you? I mean, you open up the gym, you go to the gym, and people show up, and you have that community. You can see it; it's right there in front of you. Here's the people. So I guess what are you doing with Lark? I mean, so that you're basically staying top of mind for your community when they're not in front of you, right? Like, I guess what does that look like for you? Is that a thing? Because you were saying that you're off on Fridays, or you're not at the gym. I assume somebody is there. Okay.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Right.
Which is
so like, I guess
wild.
what does that messaging look like in the non-FaceTime time?
Yeah, I really appreciated what Ryan was saying. Was that last week or the week before? I just love the way he delivers the message because it's so damn direct. But this idea of community is something that I came into the idea of Lark really thinking like, this needs to be the top of my focus. This needs to be where I put my energy. And I'm sure I'll land somewhere in the middle, but right now I'm of the mind that is extra. That is something that somebody can offer at any CrossFit in the entire world. That takes no skill to be able to create. That is almost the icing on the cake in addition to what I'm able to do. So we've really doubled down on focusing on the solutions that we sell and delivering a fucking amazing product and changing people's lives and letting them be so excited about changing their own lives that the community just kind of forms itself. And then our job just becomes protect that community and make sure that our intake process is thorough enough that we're able to protect what we've already built. Like, we've already got a safe space. Now it's our job to create systems that protect that safe space. Does that make sense?
So not just anyone can join your gym, right? Like,
I can't help it.
I guess, of course, right? Which is good that you know that, right? And that you're very forward with it. So I guess, what does that process look like? If somebody's just like, I mean, do you find people or do they find you? And when they get to the door, what does that process look like as to whether or not, you're staying or going?
Yeah. So first, it starts with a discovery call. The intake process is all free, and the reason why is because we're just kind of figuring it out. I don't want to charge anybody for something. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of it. Starts with a free discovery call, and that's just initially like, do our vibes match? Do you have a problem that we're equipped to solve? And are you able to kind of make it work in the confines of the times that we have? It takes like 15 minutes. It's super generic. Then we get into the consult, and this is where everything is very personalized. It looks like a really big conversation at first. It goes a lot bit deeper than most folks expect. And the thing that's different, I've kind of adapted this process over the years. I've done some version of a discovery call and a consultation. But the thing that has been different in the last 2 years with Lark is that if I'm not a good fit for you, if Lark isn't a good fit for you at the end of that consult, I'm going to give you a referral to a professional who's a better fit. End of story.
For sure.
So either way, at the end of that hour, 45 minutes, whatever it looks like, you're going to walk out the door with somebody who's going to help you with the thing that you came to me with.
For sure. Yeah, and that's different because I'd say I just recently tried CrossFit here in Asheville, but I now realize that was in July. So that's how that's how recent that was. And I remember like going in, and they're all very much like they pretty much had signed me up for like the 6 year plan on day one,
Sure.
like before the first workout got started. I was like, okay, cool. But by the end of the workout, I realized like, oh, that's right. I hate this. I don't want to do this at all. Just because, it's like everybody does need some element of movement in their life, and I get that, but that ain't it. That ain't it for a lot of
It's
people.
not it for most people. There's more
Yeah.
of us than there are of them. We're just completely underserved in the fitness marketplace. There are more of us than there are of them. I promise.
But they have sexier social media, right?
Yeah.
So that's the rip. Now, I did some dexterity training this morning. I had to carry 3 cups of liquid and a notebook up the stairs to get up here this
What three
morning. So it
beverages are
was.
you rocking before 9 a.m.?
I had the smoothie that I finished up, and then I got the coffee, and I got the water.
Okay.
There's also a bottle of whiskey over here. So I mean, we could go anywhere today. Fuck off Friday, right? No, now last night's bottle is empty and downstairs.
There we go. There we go. You're prepared for tonight then. I like that.
Yeah, tonight. Like I said, it could be this morning. We'll see. No, I got lots of copy to write, a lot of places to go. So I guess what's anything big on the future for Lark? Anything cool coming up?
Much cool stuff. We launched a new service in August of last year, which is, it's called Active Life, and they're individualized small group sessions. So imagine you've been working with your coach one-on-one for a little while. You're kind of ready to have a little bit more autonomy and kind of take a little bit more ownership. And your coach feels the same way. We graduate you up into this program called Active Life, where your coach is still writing your programming for you, but you're executing it with 10 of your friends at the gym at the same time. So everybody's in a session all together under coach supervision, but everybody's working their own program. So it's got the environment of a group class, but it's still allowing us to give you the service and the solution that you actually came to us for. We're not cheapening it by writing up a workout on the board and then modifying it or scaling it for everybody else. Like, you're getting the shit that you need, but you're still with your buddies doing the fun stuff, the music's up, all that.
Yeah.
It's legit.
And it's fun,
yeah,
right?
It's
Is that
totally
what you do?
fun.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
You do it
fun.
on the Lark, yeah.
And the thing that's different about, I mean, I've been running boot camps for years, and I've been completely underserving people for years. That model of write the workout, program for the best, scale for the rest, is easy.
Yeah.
It's not fun. There's no challenge involved from a coaching perspective or from a participant perspective. You're putting the onus on the participant to modify for themselves and to be able to, they have to have the skill set to know when to modify. And instead,
I have no idea.
Exactly. Like, and why should you? Like, why are you paying for you to make your own decisions? Like, that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for an expert. And the goal is really to work ourselves out of a fucking job, but have you still come back because you want more education, you want to be surrounded by your friends, and you know that you're going to keep getting exactly what you need when you need it.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, me modifying a workout, it's like I look at what's on the board and it's be like, all right, if I can do to this, and then I might throw up, and so I should back up from there, right? That's my modification. Is like, don't barf.
It's
right?
like me writing my own or editing my own copy. Like, it's just not going to work.
It. I mean, how's that going for you? Writing? Are you writing your own? Or are you?
I am half in, half out, I would say. That's a good question. So a lot of what I'm focusing on right now is doubling down on the things that I know about Lark and trying to amplify it to as many folks as I can, instead of maybe generating new stuff. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is something I kind of try to drive everybody back to is it's like, we think it's like, oh, what's going to be today's post, this week's email? It's like you think you have to create something new for the thousand or so people who consume your content, right? But there's still literally 8 billion other people who have not seen your stuff yet, right? And so it is, again, amplifying is kind of a good word for that, where it's just like you're writing the same song, you're singing the same song, it's just getting into a bigger arena, but at the same time not selling tickets to the haters, right? It's a sticky thing. So yeah, it's always a challenge. It's always a challenge. Because I'm doing that myself. That's why I got back onto this godforsaken platform. Yeah,
it's kind of
and it's
lit a fire under my ass too.
Yeah, it's been different because I mean, when I was doing it previously, it was like under my own, David Pennington's Instagram. Now this is OutWord. Now this is a very different thing, and I feel like I can be a little more. Oddly a little more myself with it, right? Which is weird. It's like, well, yeah, I get to hide behind this, but it's still this is very much what I am. And I'm able to be more real and just really just talk about cop. Because like when it's my old account where like your parents are following and your friends are following, they're just like, why are you still talking about this crap? Why are you trying to sell me on, writing stories? And it's just like, you're right. I don't want to make stuff for you anymore. And I did. I'm stopped that. Like, I'll post a dog picture every now and again on that account, and that's about it.
My personal account,
and they love it.
I haven't
They
posted
love
on
that.
in 2 years, I don't think.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, it's it sounds like we gotta get some work done to get you writing stuff again, but and to figure out how to make that Lark messaging sing once again. Because you figured out what it was, the process that we went through. As you said, it kind of solidified what it was supposed to be and who it was supposed to be for.
Sure.
And now you got to tell the world.
Yeah, no,
like
the one of the things that I focus on a lot is the fact that in our gym we've got me and 3 other coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Greensboro's, I don't know how big, 300,000 people. Maybe that's completely wrong, but that seems about right.
Sure. Who's looking up? No one's going to know.
Help at a maximum. I can probably help about 250 of those people with the kind of confines that we've got. I get an opportunity to change 250 people's lives at any one given time. And my only job is just to go out there and find them and make sure that they're the right one that I can actually help. And like, when I kind of simplify it like that seems a lot more of a bite-sized chunk than just putting my message out there. Like, no, I have a face in my mind of who I'm going to. Like, I know exactly where they are. I know where they buy their coffee. I know where they like to buy their groceries. Like, all of that foundational work. Now I have a picture in my mind of my client avatar.
And I don't like the word avatar for clients and things like that, but what I tell the people I work with, I'm pretty sure I've told you at this point, it's like, we're in this world where it's like, if it's not reaching the millions, it's not effective, right? It's like, oh, this post didn't go viral, or I can't scale my business to do whatever, right? And it's like, okay, well, you keep thinking in terms of millions, but you can really only serve dozens, right? And it's like you said, like, there's 250 people, which is still a lot of people when for just one person, or 2 or 3 that's on your team. That's still very big, right? I work with maybe 10 people a year, right? And like, because in order for me to do what I do effectively, it has to be that small.
Yeah.
Because once I start like trying to sell it to everybody and work with everyone, it's just then the value goes up.
Absolutely. That's been a big lesson for me, is pricing my stuff appropriately so that I can actually help people solve what they came to me to solve and be able to eat at the same time. Like, I had to just bring it in instead of focusing on filling up boot camps, with 20 people paying $7 a pop. There's plenty of folks that can do that. Not everybody can do what we do at Lark, right?
Right.
I want to know why you don't like the word avatar.
It's just I think I just got 1.5 foot of my feet. That was weird. I just got a foot in like the marketing world where these people like just come up with this bullshit terminology to I guess increase the value of what they do. It's
Sure.
like, well, we got to come up with a customer avatar. It's just like, for the most part, that person you're imagining, that doesn't exist, right? Like
Fair.
the person you're thinking of that you're going to sell to, like they actually have to exist. Otherwise, they're not going to pay you. And I've worked with folks who have come to me with avatars that somebody else created for them, and it sounds like a bullshit dating profile. It's like, this person doesn't exist. Nobody makes this much money and then is also authentic and cares about their kids, and they're not like that. No, like this isn't a person. And so then you kind of bring it back to, it's like, forget who you want to buy this thing. Make the thing you're meant to make, that you want to make, and those people will find you. Like if the right messaging is behind it, and your offer is, you know, as unique as what you have, like the people who really need it will find you. It's
Fucking
weird.
right, dude. You're right. Yeah. That's why
Yeah, fuck the advertisers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Cool. Well, thanks for jumping on here. I'm going to kind of give you your morning back to respond to all your emails, and you're welcome.
Thank you. My clients, thank you.
Yeah, so I've just been kind of jumping on here every Friday, talking with somebody about something. Hooray! So this was great.
Back anytime. This is a great use of our time. I feel motivated to actually sit down and look at the notebook that I have reserved for writing. So
awesome. Cool. All right. Down on my screen down here, this is Beth. Lark Fitness,
David,
down in Greensboro, North Carolina. I would say if you're around, you should pop in and say what's up. That's not how they do their thing. Jump on their Instagram. Send a message and see if she's right for you. But yeah, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.